I'm Chuck McDonald with Informed Entrepreneur, and it's my pleasure to be here today with Wanda Smith of Symphony Placements, and they are placed in the Inc. 5000 list, which is one of the top, fastest growing companies in America, so that's quite an honor. Good to be with you here today, Wanda.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming out to see me.
Okay, just reading a little bit of background about your company from the website, that you're a full-service, flexible staffing and HR company, founded in 2006. You're currently certified by the state of Maryland and Baltimore City as a woman-owned MBE company, and your headquarters is right here in Baltimore County, Maryland.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about the different sectors that you service at this time.
Well, as we say on the website that we're full service, we mean exactly that. We have a big presence in healthcare where we specialize in staffing a physician's practice, from the practice manager all the way up to the person who's checking you in and checking you out. We have a lot of call centers where we excel in placing customer service individuals because of our MBE rating or certification. We have call centers here in the Baltimore area, Seattle, Washington, Martinsville, Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia, and Chesapeake, Virginia.
You're all over the place.
We are, and soon to be international. One of our Fortune 500 companies has mentioned they'd like us to possibly go to Toronto next year.
Excellent, excellent. I'm always interested in, a lot of companies just focus on one or two areas, maybe IT or management,
Right.
and you cover all those in addition to IT. That must mean it's very important for you to keep on top of what's happening in those industries.
Absolutely, and the reason we have so many specialties, we do virtually everything that light industrial or manufacturing, is that most companies have needs in all of those areas.
Right.
So they have said, well, we're so happy with you doing XYZ, can you service it in which is a different skill set? So our favorite answer is absolutely, yes, we can do it. So that means we not only have maybe call center, but we have the program manager. We might have several IT people. So it just grows from there.
I see. Okay. And your company was started in 2006, is that right?
Yeah.
So tell me about the growth. Did it start off and kind of slowly, and then all of a sudden there was a turning point, you got a huge contract, or how did that progress?
You know, I have an interesting story. I had left the industry for 2.5 years because I had a non-compete, and I knew eventually I wanted to start my own company. So finally in 2006 I was able to do that. So I took my meager savings and I took a home equity loan and I started the company. Well, the only thing in my equation was that all my great customers that I knew 3 years earlier wouldn't be at the same companies. So I suddenly realized, oh my goodness, nobody that knows me is around. So we started knocking on doors, and the next thing we were up and running and really doing a great job until about November of 2007 with the recession hit. We went just like that. It was because we didn't have a long base, an old base of clients. It was all newly acquired. So I just said, well, I know it's not me. I know it's the recession. I'll just keep pushing, and I was down to my last $8,000. So my husband says, look, you've invested a lot of money here, and we know it's not you, it's just a longer recession, so he wouldn't loan me any. My son wouldn't loan me any. The banks, why would I even go there? And I just said, I am not going to fail. I am not going to lose this money. I'm going to go in there, and if I made 30 calls one day, I'm going to make 40 the next, and vice versa. And then I explored other streams. So I got to know about the certifications, and I applied with the Maryland Department of Transportation, where I was certified. I'm certified today as a WBE and MBE.
I see.
Baltimore City as a DBE, and now we are federally certified with a WOSB. And since we have so many places in Virginia, we are a SMARM, a WSMARM. So that was really my saving grace, was that, because ever so often the dial started to turn, and we just took off. Amazing.
Fantastic, fantastic. So tell me a little bit about numbers. Maybe you, what kind of numbers of staff, amount of revenue that you have, and maybe also some goals that you're looking for.
Our highest has been over $8 million,
I see.
which is pretty good from zero in 10
Right.
years. And our biggest growth, of course, was 14, 15, and 16.
Mhm.
Although this year, because of the election, a lot of changes with the procurement process with the state of Maryland,
Mhm.
that our numbers are not, we didn't grow.
Mhm.
We kind of just stayed flat. However, we have so much in the pipeline that I think that 2017 is going to be another year like 14. We just grew. But our growth over the past 3 years was enough that we have been on, as you mentioned, the Inc. 5000 list this was the 3rd year in a row.
Fantastic. So with all the growth that you've seen, I'm sure that's been challenging in a leadership way. So what kind of lessons have you learned about leadership and the growth of your business?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I figure, first of all, I'm kind of an anomaly because I did start the business when I was 59. So if you could do the math, that means this is our 10th anniversary and I'm 69 years old. I've been an entrepreneur with other small companies early on my career, and I have been in the staffing industry almost 30 years. But with all that, with all the changes, especially a lot of legal human resource laws being passed, because it's not quite as easy to do business in the state of Maryland as maybe what it is in other states. So I am trying to stay abreast of all the time of new laws involving human resources and employment law. I sit on the Maryland Chamber of Commerce's legislative committee, so I can kind of first hear exactly what's happening and what's proposed. Then, of course, the change with our ex-offenders has been another process changing. We did business one way a few years ago, but due to the new requirements of law, we have to change our process.
I see. Interesting.
Keeps me moving along. It
Wow.
really does.
Okay. So do you have maybe a person that you really look up to or try to model your business after in terms of the leadership things that you've learned?
I don't know if I have a specific person. I've worked for some really nice companies, well-established companies, whether they were regionals, private, and international companies. One thing, my driving force was I felt I could do it better than some other companies with their particular types of missions. I think that we have achieved that because we have retained 92% of the clients that used us when
Wow.
we first opened.
That's
And
spectacular.
another interesting statistic is that last year, 2015, 93% of the people that we placed on a temporary to direct hire were hired by our clients.
That's
So that means
fantastic.
we're giving them just what they want.
Absolutely. Well, life as an entrepreneur, that's not for everybody. How did you get started? Was there something in you when you were growing up or when you were
Obnoxious.
young?
I'm just an obnoxious A personality who's married to an A personality. I've been blessed with a lot of energy, and they say if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life, and I really feel like I don't come to work anymore. I enjoy it. My role has changed. I promoted Marta Chavatel to Vice President of Operations, and she has taken over a major leadership role with the company and is directly responsible for a lot of our growth in the last 5 years. This is
So you picked the right person.
I picked the right person. Then it has enabled me to take a different stance in the company. We call it, I work on business, she works in the business. So it enables me to go around I love charity work, and Symphony Placements has a big heart.
So tell me a little bit about your charity work.
Well, Casey Cares is one of my favorite charities, and being able to put a smile on a terminally ill or critically ill child's face is is something that I don't think that any amount of money or work, you can't measure it. And this year we just had our holiday party, and Casey Cares plays a big role. And through the generosity of friends, neighbors, network, the customers, prospects, whatever, we raised $36,000 in pajamas, cash, and Legos.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So is there anything, who's the ideal customer for you? Or is anyone a customer?
Really, anyone who utilizes individuals and uses people is a customer for Symphony Placements. From the standpoint that we do it, and we do it thoroughly, and we do it all day long by recruiting, pre-screening, assessing, all the different things that we do to make sure that we have a great, viable candidate. A small business can't do it. They can't do what we can do. They don't have the specific tools, or they have to outsource a lot of it. Hiring people is an expensive part of doing business, and having a bad hire can sometimes cost the company as much as 3 to 4 times their annual salary just for a 90-day stint. So with us, we do all the work and hand you 3 resumes, and voila, you can make your decision and go from there. And as I said, we must be doing it right, because 94% of our people are hired by our clients.
That's some great results for sure. So tell me about being a woman owning a business, a corporation like this. How has that been challenging for you, and how's it been rewarding for you?
Well, I'm a member of the CEO Club in Baltimore, and I'm involved in the PAC. It's not a...
the PAC, explain that one.
Well, it is where maybe 12 different CEOs from all different industries meet 8 times a year, and each entrepreneur, each CEO gives a presentation about his or her company and has the specific challenges. So here you've got 11 great minds sitting around the table to give you their thoughts on how you should solve that challenge. So, how does it differ when you're a woman? I'm the only woman at the table, but all the guys like me, and it's great, and I'm respected. I'm a member of Smart CEO, and there are more and more women joining, and the CEO Club, more and more women joining. I believe it's very important to get out there and network and to learn about other people's business, and that's the joyful part of my job. Just one of the joyful parts.
Outstanding. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you wanted to comment on about the growth of the company and how it's gone, and maybe something that was a great lesson for you?
Well, we are working on a merger with a gentleman who has done permanent placement executive search for 36 years. We're talking about his joining my company. And he's fabulous. He has a wonderful reputation, knows what he's doing. So I'm looking forward to that new part of Symphony Placements.
Okay, very good.